up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Those Movie Dudes podcast. Here to talk about some films on May 12th, talk about some new release movies, do some trivia, talk about some news along the way, play a few games, have some fun. It's good to be back. If you want to follow us, that's going to be at Those Movie Dudes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those places. But why don't we get right into the episode with our fellow dudes, Nate and Spencer. Welcome in, guys. Those Movie Dudes podcast. That's us. Kingdom of the Planet of the Dudes, am I right?
Oh, okay. That works. Kingdom of the Fall. Oh, I haven't even seen these little subtitles here.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Dudes.
Okay,
Kingdom of the Podcast of the Dudes? Maybe that's
Kingdom
better.
of the Those Movie Dudes podcast, guys.
Whatever is the
Kingdom
longest title possible.
Kingdom of the Those Movie Dudes podcast of the Planet of the Those Movie Dudes podcast.
National Treasure 2.
3? Are you sure, Spencer? Are you sure that Nicolas Cage confirmed that
We're gonna pick
National
up on
Treasure
this
3
again?
isn't
Okay.
happening? Can you show me the receipts? Because I want to see a direct quote from him that's not happening. Because that hurts my soul deeply, and I think we brushed over it last podcast a little too quickly.
If you just Google Nicolas Cage National
Googling
Treasure
that.
3, hit news, and then I'm sure it'll be one of the most recent stories because he addressed it when he was doing press for a movie that he just was in called Arcadian. And he talked about it. They're like, "Oh, what's the status of National Treasure 3?" And he's like, "I don't think it's going to happen."
The fact that people are still asking should tell you everything you need to know, that they need to make the movie. And I don't think it's Nicolas Cage. I don't think that it's Justin Bartha or Diane Kruger. John Voight, I'm sure, would love to be in a movie these days. I don't get it.
Well, he's going to be in Megalopolis.
I don't care. If you're going to do a movie for Francis Ford Coppola, why not do one with John Turteltaub? I mean, they're equal in terms of directors. You know, I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Nate, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah,
Nice.
It's a nice Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Any mothers listening? Happy
To all
Mother's
the
Day.
moms.
Even if you're listening to this multiple days after Mother's Day and you forgot, you call your mother right now.
Oh.
And then
Call
send
your
us the
mother.
audio file.
I did have one Mother's Day where
podcast.
I was up playing golf. We were at like a golf weekend. And for some reason, I just didn't say Happy Mother's Day to my mom. And
You idiot.
I learned my lesson. It's like in my head, I was like, I need to wait for the right time. And then I didn't say it until like the end of the day. And she was very, very upset with me. So I always say it as soon as possible.
You're an only child, and that's all she asks. And
Yes.
you don't even give her that. Like,
I mean, you forgot my birthday.
that was the
like 2
first
years
thing I
ago,
said this
but-
I
morning.
did forget your birthday a couple years ago.
It's chill. It's fun.
I'm really good with dates too. Like I know
Really?
people's.
I'm not.
I know dates. I'm very good with
I'm
dates.
not good
so,
with dates.
Yeah, I don't know. As I get older, maybe I get more senile, early onset dementia. I'm not really sure, but say Happy Mother's Day to your mom. That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right. Well, movie news.
Movie news.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
This is movie news.
News. So as you guys
News.
know, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is getting a sequel. No, it's not. What do we got?
Really? Oh, just centered around
just call me-
Nathan Fielder's character.
They just
Was
call
he
me
in?
Marcel, and I have no friends, and I'm looking for my family. And what's a documentary?
Wow, that's a really good Jenny
That's-
Slate
that's
impression.
damn
Holy
good.
shit.
All right.
Wow.
I got peaceful, easy feeling.
All right, everybody. So we got a special guest on this episode. We have Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Are you wearing shoes? Show me your
No, my shoes are getting marker put on them because I'm tired of the pink ones, and I gotta wear black.
What is this? Bridget
I
Terabithia?
close
What the
my
fuck?
eyes. I can kind of picture it. God damn.
I think we just
I have not smiled through like 95% of a movie before, and
Did you just watch
yesterday
it?
my face. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that you had
That's
just
probably why
watched
Yeah,
he's
it.
that's
been
why I
talking
asked
about it
yesterday.
consistently.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
okay.
I was. My
Connected
face
on.
hurt from smiling. I was like,
It's a great
why
movie.
didn't I see this in theaters? Like what? Like
It
Yeah.
didn't really get a wide theatrical release. I remember waiting for it to pop up in theaters because I'd heard such good things, but it didn't even come to the Nickelodeon. So
That's surprising.
So, and they had posters up. That's where I
exactly.
saw the poster.
I had 100%. Yeah, I think we saw Terrifier 2 or something, or whatever movie
Mhm.
was playing at the time, or maybe it was a Black Phone, and we were like, oh yeah, it's coming out soon, but nope, never did. But yeah, no, I watched it twice. I really enjoyed it.
I had to go to my AMC 24, which the theater with 24 screens to be able to watch it because it was such a limited release. But we saw it.
Wait, wasn't that like one of your favorite movies of that year? Wasn't
I don't
that
know
like
if it
your
was
top 10 or
Was
something?
it?
Or I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up.
I don't know if it was that high. Was it 2022? I think.
I think it was 21. But
2021.
It was
Or maybe
21, yeah.
I'll get back to you if you want to talk
whatever.
more about the news.
Because I remember thinking it's been 3 years.
Oh wait, Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Where are you?
Well, anyways, yeah. Well, okay, so that was your first time watch for Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Yeah, glad you enjoyed
It's
it.
amazing.
Oh, it was freaking like I cried like 3 times, and then I smiled for the rest of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I
it was just
gave it a
yeah.
3.5. It's my number 31 of 2022, right behind
Oh,
Glass Onion
so no,
and
never mind.
Fall and Emily the Criminal and Puss Boots Last Wish.
Then
I
didn't-
gave it a 4.5, almost a 5.
I bet I would go higher than
Is it-
3.5 on a second time watch.
Like it looks like it would be a kids movie, but there's so many adult themes that I'm just like, no, this is too much.
Yeah. Jenny Slate.
Okay, well, moving on from Marcel. Sorry, Marcel, we're gonna have to
Thank
kick
you.
you off the
Thank
podcast.
you.
But thanks for stopping
No,
by.
thank you for talking about my movie. I hope to do a documentary sometime, but I'm happy to make a sequel. Like,
Oh, Marcel, you never get old.
All right. Well, the first movie news topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys has to do with a movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks. In fact, it's going to be the centerpiece for what we're going to be talking about on the next episode of Those Movie Dudes. It's Furiosa, because they debuted the movie to a handful of critics already, and the first reactions are in. Brutal, masterful, and absolutely epic.
Goes without saying for a movie
What
that comes out on my
else do you
birthday.
expect? Yeah.
You
I
know,
expect nothing less.
Apparently, yeah, it's really, really well done. It's a blast. But I guess it's a lot. Really, this guy just wrote it was great.
thank you, Esther.
From
Really
Bloomberg
appreciate
News.
that.
Okay, great. But I guess it's very different from Fury Road, because Fury Road is essentially just one long car chase sequence. There's not
Yes.
much plot, and it's very fast paced. It's very just high octane, in your face, 100 miles per hour. I guess this one slows things down a little bit, and you get to get more character development, is from what I'm hearing. But the main thing that I wanted to bring up here is that allegedly, Anya Taylor-Joy only has 30 lines of dialogue in Furiosa, and George Miller said, "The problem with dialogue is that it tends to slow things down. Film is a medium often best enjoyed at high speed."
I wonder how many
Denis
times
Villeneuve has recently been in the news, in the headlines, for saying that he absolutely hates dialogue and that he thinks it's just he doesn't need it, doesn't want it, and will try to minimally use it as much as possible. And he got a lot of backlash for that. And then all of a sudden, when George Miller says it, everyone is like praising him. It's like, oh yeah, like fuck dialogue, do whatever you want to do. So it's a little interesting, the contrasting hate that's going on and love with the two directors, and basically them saying the same thing. But where do you guys stand on this? Like, when you hear that she only has 30 lines of dialogue, like what do you think there?
I would like to hope that it's more than her just being "I am Furiosa." Like, I hope that's only one line, and then we do get a little bit more insight into her character.
Well, I don't think she's going to
beyond
be Groot, so I don't think she's just
that.
going to say one
There
thing.
is
the
a
whole
line.
time.
I am Furiosa.
I am Furiosa. We are Furiosa. No.
Okay, we get it. We get it. We get it.
No.
You're Furiosa.
30 lines is awfully low, considering this is probably a 2.5-hour movie plus. So
I guess somebody said that Max from Fury Road had like 60, so like just about double, but like that's not even that much. So I think
And he was
Ryan
muzzled
Gosling
the
from
entire
Drive
time.
probably even has less.
How many lines did the lead character in Happy Feet have? Because I know that that's another George Miller film, and he doesn't really stray beyond penguins and
Desert landscapes.
post-apocalyptic warfare films.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care. I think that, I think Denis Villeneuve, he's also very much a spectacle director. Like he uses dialogue sparingly. So if it's done well, which he's done well in every single movie he's made, then sure, I'm all there for it. But then there's like movies like Quentin Tarantino that are basically all dialogue, and those are also great. So I think it really depends on the situation you're walking into.
Yeah.
And the fact that George Miller has directed every single movie, like it sticks with the aesthetic, and the fact that he did Fury Road and all the other ones, and now he's doing this one. I trust it. And it's Anya Taylor-Joy. She could say nothing the whole movie and be just as powerful.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not care.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it, and just the production design, the cinematography. I mean, he does a great job of really immersing you into the world and making you kind of just feel like you're there almost. So I mean, yeah, you don't need to have a whole bunch of dialogue for no reason if you have a spectacle like this. But I don't love when they do like the gimmick stuff. Like I don't know if you guys watched it, Silent Night, the Joel Kinnaman movie that came out.
I did not get around.
Oh, isn't that John Cho?
Yeah, John Woo. Yeah, 100%.
John Woo, yeah.
Dialogue free, 2 hours or so, or maybe hour and 40, and it gets to a point where it just feels like a gimmick. Like it just feels like they're just not talking for literally just because
speak.
That's what the movie requires, or that's what they're trying to achieve here. So I mean, I think this will. I mean, yeah, George Miller is a mastermind, so I think it's going to be handled just fine. But I guess what I'm hearing is if you are expecting kind of like another Fury Road, temper your expectations a little bit. It's a little bit of a different story here, but I guess it's just as epic, just as brutal, and just as awesome. So looking forward to it.
I'm all there for it. And I'm also there for the Garfield Furiosa double feature.
Are you really going to do that,
Garfield?
though?
I think I will, because I'm going to have to see them late. I'm probably going to have to see them both on Saturday, June 1st.
You should do Garfield after. So like you're coming down off of that giant high and you just have to see Garfield.
The plan was definitely to see Garfield at like a 10:30 a.m. showing and then have lunch, go into a Furiosa. But you know what? I would do that for you.
That, like, if you were to see Furiosa, then Garfield, that would be just as exciting as when I saw The Nun 2 and then immediately watched The Nun 2 again because I missed the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I'm looking forward to whatever that experience ends up being.
Is Bill Murray in it? Or is it Chris Pratt again?
It's Chris Pratt. Yeah, it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
as Garfield.
No.
Yeah, of course it is.
We're not lucky enough to get Bill Murray back. I've actually never even seen the Garfield movies. And
What?
I don't plan to.
You don't need to.
Are you kidding me?
Just
I bet you haven't seen Trolls or Smurfs either.
Haven't.
You never saw Trolls?
Nope.
I saw the first one.
Anna Kendrick and Justin.
I never saw Sing, the other Illumination movie that has like 2 or 3.
One?
No, it has a koala bear as Matthew McConaughey.
I've only seen like a couple of the Despicable Me movies and like one of the Minion movies.
Wow. And you consider yourself Minion Kevin, so.
Well, the other movie news, I kind of talked to Nate about this already, but John, I don't even know if you even know this movie exists. Actually, it's on your watch list on Letterboxd, so you do know that it exists, but you tend to just add things without even knowing what you're doing. So I'm just going to explain a little bit.
Okay. It's not very in-depth. You just add movies to a list, but okay.
In a Violent Nature. The movie is coming out May 31st, and I think a wide release, but it'll be kind of more at your art house theaters, movies that get kind of like the independent films, because it's from Shudder and IFC Films. But it comes out May 31st. It's shot entirely from the perspective of the killer. That doesn't mean POV necessarily. It just means that we'll never get a break from this killer. We're going to be watching him from start to finish. Exactly. And we haven't really seen that with these types of movies, like Friday the 13th. So like this movie is being described as a art house Friday the 13th, which sounds really interesting. But the thing with this movie, and John, you are going to go see this movie, whether you like it or not. So I hope that you are prepared for it.
I'm so apprehensive because I have seen the trailer and it made me. It kind of reminded me of when we watched the original Last House on the Left. Like it just made me feel icky.
Okay. Well, look
Like,
at
I'm
this
just-
headline.
Yes.
In a Violent
Yes.
Nature is reportedly making audiences sick.
Yep,
And that
okay.
the In a Violent Nature has incredibly gory kills.
I'm sure it
There was a
Good.
recent kind of
Me and Nate are
audio.
polar opposite.
Good.
Great, I love that.
Recently there was like an audio leak. I don't know, who knows how much this is like, this could be like the marketing team doing this, but there was a screening and they recorded some audio of the audience reaction to, I guess, one of the most brutal kills in the movie. And
Nice.
it just, the sound effects were insane from what you could hear, and the audience was eating it up, and then they just started cheering all of a sudden. Like they just were so into it. So it looks like it could be kind of the horror movie of the year, doing something a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. And if you have, if you have, if you're like John and you're very queasy when it comes to blood, take some Tums with you or whatever you need to help you.
I've gone to the chewable Tums. I think they're actually really good.
Those pressure things that people wear to, like, if there's they don't get seasick or something. Pressure points.
No, maybe I should try that. It's like shock therapy during films, just so I don't throw up during them or leave the theater as a result.
Yep.
Just in the middle of the movie, just
No, sorry, I'm going through something. Don't worry about it.
I still
what?
remember you getting up and leaving during Green Inferno.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was that. I mean, to be fair, that was more of I was just trying to make a scene, like, because I said that I was gonna do it and then I did it, but like I did want to get up. I think it was the scene where she ate her fucking lover or something like that because she saw the tattoos on the skin. Anyway, why does it look like the one of those villains from Scooby-Doo?
This guy.
He looks like the one with
Kinda looks like a coal
the
miner.
diver helmet in Scooby-Doo. Am I crazy? Nate knows what I'm talking about. I guarantee you Nate knows what I'm talking about.
I wasn't a Scooby-Doo kid, unfortunately.
But like, I mean, yeah.
I get the goofy. It looks almost like the villains in the old Power Rangers, the really disposable ones that blow up when they hit boxes.
Yeah.
Like they get punched, they hit boxes, and then they go poof.
Found him. Here
But
he is.
either way,
Yeah. This is what I
this
see.
movie is going to be freaking amazing. The only thing that would have made it better is if it was A24.
Maybe. I mean, IFC Films and
But,
Shudder, they
like-
can produce some pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
when
just,
Evil
it's,
Lurks
for me, it's
last
more or
year.
less the aesthetic. Like they would have put out a cool slipcover with it, and it would have matched
see.
really. But I'm gonna get it no matter what.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really impressive for it looks like a film that's going to be very gritty and raw and disgusting, and it's not going to try to be the most cinematic thing on the planet. Like it's going to do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of respect it for that. But am I going to enjoy it and be like happy? No, I don't think that's the intention.
Yeah.
But
I don't
you
think
know,
so.
I think it'll accomplish exactly what it's trying to do, and that means it'll probably
Yeah.
get 2.5 out of 5 for me. So
Unsettle you and freak you out. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Nate's coming down. We're gonna see it together in like the next month or so. So we'll be talking about it
Nice.
on the podcast very soon. So put it on your calendars if you're into horror movies, if you're into some crazy violent stuff. This is one that the horror community is talking about the most right now. So in a
All
It's gonna
right.
violent
be me
nature.
just giggling the whole time.
mhm. He's gonna get brutally murdered, and Nate's gonna be like, "Fucking."
Ha
Aha, yeah. Like
Well-
I own like 5 individual copies of every Friday the 13th, so like it's
Yeah.
a little.
If you don't know, Nate's
unnecessary,
also
but-
wearing a House T-shirt, which is like a
Yep.
very cult classic horror type of film. So
not a slasher, but
not a slasher,
Kind
but
of.
it's still a great shirt. That thing is in great shape for the amount of time you've had it.
I know. I like the minute any part of it starts to peel, I'm immediately getting another one.
It looks brand new. Like honestly, it still looks brand new. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Well, if you were to see it in person, you'd start to notice some of it, just like the fuzz on it. Like it's not as black as it actually
Is
looks.
it raised, like a raised kind of material, or is it all one screen printed thing?
It is like all printed right on. Like,
Well, either way, I'm happy. with it.
However-
Has
I'll
anybody
rotate it.
have you worn that to Bull Moose, and has anybody been like, "Oh my god, house"? Has you got any compliments on it, or has anybody like talked to you about the shirt?
I don't remember where I was, but someone did say, "Oh, I like that shirt. It's a real creepy cat." And I was
Okay.
hoping that they were going to
Mm,
mention
They
it.
didn't. They
But
didn't
whenever
know.
people ask, they're like, "Oh, what is it?" I'm like, "Oh, it's from a Japanese movie from the 70s." And then after I say Japanese, they all
Then
just
they
kind of
tune
go
out. They're
and they
gone.
walk
They're on the
away.
other
Yeah.
side of the store. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if it's not on Golden Pond or Avatar, they don't know what I'm talking about. So
exactly.
Why are those films? Okay.
You just be like,
because one,
and like just start referencing the movie itself. Like,
You're like, I
Yeah.
thought that was going to be from
oh,
National Treasure
you're into
3.
fantasy, whatever the names of the characters are. It's like gorgeous fantasy,
Oh,
prof.
Fantasy Mac, Prof,
So weird.
Kung Fu, Melody, Sweet.
That's crazy.
Throw it in the oven.
Exactly.
There it is.
So that's it for the movie news. That's all I had for you guys. Nate, do you have a Nate's choice
this is
for
the
us
game.
this week?
Do we have a drop?
We're still waiting on the jingle. Pete says that he is working on it
Oh,
though. So
wow. I could have made it.
We've
You
got
should've
plenty
just
of
asked me.
time. This is only the second rendition. Okay, this is a big one because last time we did this, we voted to keep the Green Mile and get rid of Shawshank Redemption, and I've heard from a couple of you guys that some people that you know would not agree. Is that correct?
it seems like the people that brought this up after the podcast came out, they were talking about Shawshank, keeping Shawshank,
Mhm.
eliminating Green
That
Mile.
makes sense. That makes sense to me.
It does, and I guess it just depends on your tastes and what kind of person you are, and you're wrong if you pick Shawshank. But this week, this is a big one.
Thank you.
This is a really big one.
Okay.
So I'm going entire franchises here. So
Whoa.
like, you get
Don't you put this evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it. I have a feeling that I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead. I have a drop ready.
So this week's choice is between Star Wars
Oh.
and Harry Potter. I want to know your thought processes. Like your reasoning. Like if you get rid of the original Star Wars, we have nothing today. And we don't have the original Harry Potter, and it never came.
Well, so you're saying
Which would you be less heartbroken about?
I would choose, like, this is actually kind of easy for me. Like, I was like, initially I was like, ooh, that's tough. And then I started to think about it. And then, yeah, no, it's easy for me. So my choice, I would keep Star Wars and eliminate Harry Potter.
Wow.
Only because
Ooh.
there's more that I can latch onto with Star Wars. I like those original trilogy movies, phenomenal stuff. I grew up with the prequel trilogy, so like I kind of have some nostalgia for them, even though I don't love revisiting them these days. But they're currently expanding the world, not really in the way we're all hoping it is, but at least they're still trying and still making stuff. They're eventually going to find their foot in again. But with Harry Potter, I mean, we have the movies are great, but the books are great. Who knows if the books still exist? I don't know what the rules are here, but
I think they would.
The Fantastic Beasts and everything and the spinoffs and stuff, like I just don't care that much. So like I grew up with both, but I have more of a connection with Star Wars and that whole world, that world building that they did there. And yeah, so I would go with Star Wars, despite how much I love Harry Potter. But yeah, Star Wars.
Okay.
All right. Spencer with Star
Mr.
Wars.
Mainstream.
Yeah. I think if you were to put me on a train in Nazi Germany and I had to decide between Star Wars or Harry Potter, I would choose to keep Star Wars as well.
So you would not get on the 9 3/4 train to Germany.
No, I
Okay.
would not. That would make more sense for the reference there. But no, I just Harry Potter is like, I don't know. I I don't really, to be honest, I'm not really like in love with either of these franchises. Like as a whole, I could live without both of them, but I think Star Wars is such an iconic franchise that has led to so many other iconic franchises. Like without Star Wars, we probably don't have Dune. We probably don't have a lot of other sci-fi epics. Maybe we don't have Alien, like stuff like that. I don't know.
Without Dune, we wouldn't have Star Wars. George
That's
Lucas
crazy.
blatantly ripped it off. But yeah, that's beside
Right.
the point.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you, David Lynch, for Star Wars, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Frank
there's just
Herbert.
so many more iconic characters. Like, there's so many things in Star Wars that go beyond like the Jedi, whereas in Harry Potter, it's like we have wizards and witches and muggles, and then whatever the fuck Fantastic Beasts is. I don't care that much about that franchise. So it is ultimately a pretty easy choice for me to choose something that has Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, even Kylo Ren. Like, all very awesome characters. Yoda, bro. No Yoda? No way.
Yeah. But I do love the world of Harry Potter, like the muggles, the wizards, the witches, Quidditch. We can't forget about Hagrid. Yeah.
Quidditch is
like,
kind of lame. I'm sorry. Quidditch is
Quidditch is
stupid.
awesome. No, I
Quidditch
disagree.
is not
No.
awesome.
Go
No,
fuck yourself.
I would
No.
rather watch soccer. Like it truly, it's in Quidditch is
awesome.
Thank you.
Quidditch is pretty lame, dude. I don't know, man. It's kind of dumb.
Nah. To be fair, I don't think. Well, no, there was
I'd rather watch pod
pretty
racing.
cool Quidditch matches in a lot of them, even though they were short. I'd love to see like a more like in-depth look at Quidditch, like a Max original, like about following like a Quidditch team or something, like mockumentary style. That's so stupid, but like that would be awesome.
Like What We Do in the Shadows, but
Yeah,
Quidditch.
something crazy.
That'd be like the movie.
But that's
Role
the thing is
Models,
like
just to watch
where
Role
Star
Models.
Wars is like they're taking those risks and doing that kind of stuff. Granted, not all of it's working, but I like that they're playing a little bit more there and trying to build out the world than what they're doing with Harry Potter currently. So that's why I would go with Star Wars, and just because of my love with the original trilogy. But that's tough. Nate, what would you pick?
I'm on the exact opposite train as you guys. I'm
Wow,
hopping on 9 3/4. Just I grew up with these movies,
I just
and
lost half our listeners.
I'll cry about it later. But I didn't see the Star Wars movies originally until I might have been closer to high school.
Okay.
So like it didn't sit that much with me, as like I knew all about it, Darth Vader and Skywalkers and stuff like that. But just something about Harry Potter, just going to see those movies in theaters, waiting for the next one to come out. The thing with Star Wars for me, and don't get me wrong, I love the Star Wars universe, and most of the movies are pretty good, but there's so much, and it's just this never, like, when's it gonna end?
Never.
That's what I kind of like about
It
Harry
won't.
Potter, is that it's kind of got a definitive end to its story, whereas Star Wars now, they keep kind of building layer upon layer upon layer, and it just kind of gets convoluted for me, where like if I would just stick with the first 6, honestly. Yes.
I don't remember. I feel like I know the answer, but I just have to get confirmation. Have you seen Mandalorian?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
That's okay. That's kind of why I'm thinking Star Wars right now, is because I'm really enjoying what they're doing with that show. But yeah, but like
yeah,
you are right. Like they're doing like way too much. Like there was what was that Star Wars? Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, and
that was basically Mandalorian.
Ahsoka. And I think there's another one that I did. Andor I actually did enjoy. That was kind of like a political espionage thriller show. That was actually pretty fun. But
I've heard Rebels is
really
also
well-written,
really
too.
good, the animated series. So like,
Yeah, I never saw that. But that's the thing, is like with these shows that are coming out, even like with Marvel, it's like I am picking and choosing. It's like I'm not watching everything, and just because it's the property. Like I'm really only focusing on the ones that I'm interested in, like Mandalorian. I watched the Obi-Wan series. But like I kind of didn't get through all of Ahsoka. I think I did finish Andor, but yeah, but and they are making more Harry Potter shows. I mean, they're redoing the whole book series as an HBO Max 10-season extravaganza, where they're really going to develop and go into all the details that the movies left out. So it's like they are doubling down and diving back into this world, but they're going to redo what we all know and love instead of because they tried with Fantastic Beasts and it just didn't work, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, and it's also a tough one. I almost had a different matchup for this, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I was gonna do Star Wars versus Indiana Jones.
Ooh, that
But
would
then
be a
I
tougher
thought
one for
Indiana
me.
Jones doesn't have as many movies, and
the last two were rough.
I mean, I would still pick
Yeah.
Star Wars there. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
to be
probably
honest,
would.
but I like I like Indiana Jones more than I like every character in Harry Potter combined.
Star
So,
Wars versus Marvel would have been interesting, though.
trust me, I've got
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah,
because
like,
there's
I
been
will-
some
we'll-
that I've
we'll go to
almost
'em.
put in, but no, this one I just threw in based on what it has done in film, and I guess just the legacy that these franchises hold. Like, you think of movie franchises that people are going to remember: Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Star Trek, like Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. So just two
I
iconic
think
franchises, and
There you
I
go.
look at the two main factors: Jedi versus Wizard. A Jedi is like fresh out of George Lucas's mind, like that didn't exist like before him. And then wizards are wizards. Like we were gonna see wizard shows regardless. So I'll keep a Jedi over that because it's such an iconic thing that is beyond badass in any capacity. And it seems like the only thing is like every show is like trying so hard to be like the Jedi are dead. Like just bring them back. That's the coolest thing about Star Wars. Why are we trying to withhold the Jedi? It's like,
That's
bro,
the
come on.
whole next
because once
show
they
that's
give
coming
give
out.
it to them, they don't want it.
But I want it really bad. Like in the last, we haven't had like a good movie with a Jedi for 15 years. So
15 years. What was
I don't
that
know.
one?
I don't
That
know.
was
The last
Revenge of
6 movies
Talking about Revenge of the
with
Sith.
Jedis aren't necessarily that great. I would say no. I'd say Revenge of the Sith. No, I would say Last Jedi. No,
Last.
Ugh.
Okay.
whatever episode 6 was.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of
Yeah,
the
like
Sith.
the lava fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin.
No, that's
what it was.
episode
Technically,
3.
that's 3.
That's episode 3.
Technically,
Yeah.
it's 3, but it's the 6th one to come out.
I thought that's what you were
Return
trying
of the
to say.
Jedi is what I'm talking
Because that was
about.
also 15 years ago, or about not even. That's probably 20 years ago at this point.
Damn.
But the next show, Acolyte, that's going to be about like the beginning of Jedi's, like or something like that, or it's all about Jedi's essentially. So
Okay.
there you go.
Well,
Get your fix.
thank you.
Lightsabers.
I
Okay.
don't need wands. I need lightsabers. That's all I'm saying.
Good. Nate's choice this week. Little franchise action. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on to new releases. Ooh, here it goes. We gotta just cut this out.
Does that say antidepressant on it? What is that?
No,
Nasal
nasal something.
decongestant.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, I didn't think they sold over-the-counter antidepressants.
Yeah, they do. It's called pot.
Oh, well, never mind. Yes, they do. Anyways, welcome to new releases, everybody, where we talk about new releases, films that came out in theaters or streaming, and we give our thoughts on said films.
This week we have The Fall Guy and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Wow, you killed that title. Good job.
Nate, which movie do you want to start with?
And can we start with Marcel's thoughts? I want to know Marcel's thoughts on them.
Where's
I want
Marcel?
to talk about.
Can we get a solo shot of Marcel?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
I want to talk about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes because I think Noah is one of my favorite characters, and the way he fights to be with May, and the bad guy, and they're trying to get into the thing. It was really cool, and I'm gonna go play with my pet Lynn and go get a drop of water. But I'll listen to you guys later.
Okay. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
The minimum focus distance is not great on my webcam, but yeah. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Spencer, give a quick synopsis on the movie.
Apes.
Oh, well, it's actually
I almost said something else, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna go that
apes,
far
humans, eagles, in kind of anti or post-apocalyptic San Francisco.
Is it San Francisco?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
they confirm that it was?
No, this is definitely still San Francisco, like the outskirts of San Francisco.
How do you
Okay.
know?
Because my dad
Everything
turned to
just
me
looked
and
over
said,
green
that's
or
San Francisco.
overgrown and just green. So
There was never a shot of the Golden Gate Bridge, but this is definitely like the outskirts of San Francisco where the apes went after they got
the
out
only
of the city.
location I heard was when somebody said Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I'm like, oh my god, flick pick. But
What? They did not
yeah.
say Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes, they did. Yeah, it's when they.
Movie.
Well, maybe
Okay,
I'm
so
wrong then.
first of all, before we get into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, longest title ever, everybody has seen this, right? Nate, you saw
Yes.
it? Okay,
Oh wow. Okay.
wasn't 100%, but okay, you did see it. And we've all seen the previous trilogy
Rise,
that
Dawn,
just came
and
out.
War.
Yeah, Rise, Dawn, and War. Has anybody seen the originals, like the
No.
60s, 70s, and on?
It's on my list. I've been wanting to.
Gotcha. Because yeah, I have. So we're all pretty much on the same page and in the same boat here. So this Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes takes place like generations after what we saw with the other trilogy with Caesar, and it just follows this little clan. They like to hang out with eagles. They get captured by this Proximus Caesar evil guy, and they have to work for him. And it's 2.5 hours of just apes doing ape stuff. That's the plot.
Oh yeah,
John.
that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for is apes being apes, with a little bit of a human involved and maybe some eagles along the way that are basically carrier pigeons in an ape-dominated world. I was pretty hyped for this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I love this franchise. I think that every movie in this franchise has been very, very, very good. I think they've continued. Well, maybe not continued to get better every time, but I think that Dawn was a big improvement on Rise, and then War was also very good. And to be honest, I did not expect a fourth movie, let alone movies to come after this. But here we are with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which takes place multiple generations later.
There's like 7 original ones, so we've still got a few to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is it like all of those movies seem to take place on a different part of the timeline, not a different like branching timeline, but like either after this or definitely after, right? Nothing before, because it would have been just humans and no apes. So,
well, this is getting into spoilers, so we'll avoid all that discussion, I guess. But I think they're trying to lead into the very, very original Planet of the Apes, where
that's what it
astronauts
seems.
will land, but who knows?
It's kind of blurry though, because from what I remember from seeing bits of the original one and this one, they feel similar. Like there's a lot of stuff that they do in this one that kind of reminds me of stuff that they probably would have done in the original, when it comes to like the humans being more like the fauna and the apes being the leaders, the controllers of this world.
Yeah.
The humans are the animals.
The alpha.
It's kind of like that in the original, because like Charlton Heston and stuff, they get captured and put in cages. In this one, it doesn't go that far, but you get the idea that the humans are the inferior species. But then the movie gets into if they really are or not, and it kind of goes down that route.
I really hold on a second.
I'll do my thoughts here. I again love this franchise, and I think that I was a little bit taken back by the fact that this doesn't technically have, sorry, spoilers, Caesar in it. Sorry.
Yeah, but you learn that relatively early. Like,
yeah, you do, and I
it's
kind of forgot because War came out what 2018, 2019, maybe something like that.
something like that.
So it's
Yeah,
been a
maybe
while. So
2017.
2017.
2017. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because 2014 was Dawn, but yeah, and going into this movie, knowing that, I was like, oh, what are they gonna do here? And like, we have a whole new set of apes that I have to like get behind, but I was very quickly able to get behind these apes and enjoy it almost just as much as I have the other movies. I love the world building behind these apes because it's almost like, in a sense, like very grounded because we are on Earth, give or take. Like, we're on Earth, and we're able to kind of see this as a not so hard to comprehend future. I don't know. Like, something like this could, I don't know, if a zombie movie can happen, this could happen. That's all I'm saying. So
It's very outlandish.
yeah.
As far
for sure.
like comparing this with zombies, that's two different things. Like zombies is that like
They're both an
virus, where
outbreak,
this is
quote unquote.
yeah, this is like yeah, they created a virus
Right.
that switched. But I just like how they introduce these new apes. They don't give them this like grand opening. It's just them kind of, you almost get the feel like they're kids or like teenagers in a way, because they're doing this kind of spiritual journey where they go to take the egg out of the nest and they train it as their own. I like that aspect to it. And
Am
then
I
when you
crazy?
start to
Or was that
Huh?
Avatar?
what?
That whole sequence was essentially right out of Avatar, where they have to go and get an eagle egg, and then they're supposed to basically tame this eagle to become their own.
Mm-hmm.
They have to like
It's
climb
an
these
aspect that's been
mountains.
used everywhere.
Yeah, I was just like, really, this is like, this is Avatar right now. I don't know, but
Well, I'm sure both movies were currently in production simultaneously and didn't intend to have a similar thing.
that happened in the 2009 Avatar. So
Oh, I thought you were talking about the new one.
yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, I kind of thought I've only seen Dawn and War once when they first came out, so it's been over 10 years. I recently rewatched all of them over the last like couple weeks, and because I always kind of thought that they were a little overrated, but I was wrong. They are phenomenal, very well done. Dawn is the best. It's so good. It kind of has no right being as good as it is, but they just went so hard on that movie. Yeah, like
even
it's
with
so
Jason Clarke.
gritty. The visual effects are phenomenal. The story is really engaging. It's really well done. The filmmaking's great. Like, it's just so excellent. And so
I
because
remember it being really dark,
it is very dark, yeah, for
like
sure.
in the forest or something like that.
Yep.
There's
I mean, lighting and mood wise, I mean, yeah, it's a dark movie for sure. This one, like, I was trying to get excited for this movie because it seemed like people were pretty excited that it was coming out, and I was like, really? I like the other trilogy, but like, I have no interest in this. I'm sorry, I really don't. From the director of the Maze Runner movies, cool, like whatever. In the trailers,
those were good. You liked
I
the
liked
first
the first
one.
one.
I know you did. Yeah.
I watched maybe half the second one, didn't even watch the third one. And I just heard they weren't that great. So I was not getting excited for this movie. So I was rewatching the other trilogy to get more excited. Kind of was there. I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'll see it for the podcast. That's kind of how I ended up going into the movie.
Yeah.
And I came out of it liking it. It's a very well done movie for what this movie had to do. Piggybacking off of the Matt Reeves movies with Caesar and Andy Serkis, it seemed impossible. I mean, I don't know how or why they even greenlit this movie, but clearly they have an idea. Clearly they have a vision for what the next couple of movies could be. And for the first one back, it's solid. It's totally fine, but it definitely, for me personally, it's nowhere near what Matt Reeves was able to do with Caesar storyline and the filmmaking behind that. This one felt a little bit kind of glossy, like very bright, very kind of, I don't know. They lean a little bit more into the CGI where like you kind of lose some of that texture where like in War, like they have that snow that they can kind of be on. And in Dawn, it's like they're very wet with the the wet woods, the muddy woods, and everything,
And
like
the paint
texture,
that they're
yeah,
putting on,
it
and
feels
yeah.
so real. Like you can almost like reach to the screen, like touch everything. This one feels a little bit more washed out, a little bit more glossy, despite the fact that the apes and the CGI and the visual effects are phenomenal. Like you can definitely see that they've come a long ways too since the last movie, which was in 2017. But I still didn't get the whole love and like immersed feeling that I got with Dawn and War in particular. But this is still like I can see where they're going with it. They executed very well, but I didn't love it by any means. But that was just me.
I see where you're coming from. I think that those first 3 movies, I mean, I'm going to say Rise too. I think that movie's just so iconic, just as the beginning of where it starts, and like even the after credits of like the virus breaking out, and you see a map of it kind of spreading across the world, is like it's such a cool kind of origin of what's to come. But then this movie, I look at it as more of like a side quest, or like a side mission in a video game, where it's like, you're with Noah this time, and he runs into this girl, and they're gonna go to this quote unquote kingdom where this emperor who has this kind of false interpretation of Caesar is trying to get something that the humans once had. And I did really like that storyline, where like if he were to get this thing, like a lot would change. Like the apes would basically like leapfrog like hundreds of years of like evolution and technology, like to be able to, it's like finding alien technology essentially is what they were gonna do. It's like
That's how it felt.
That's how it felt. Like that's what would have happened. And that's why it's like I'm so conflicted between, do I want the apes, maybe not so much that ape, to succeed, or do I want the humans to come back? Because you're so invested with the apes at this point, where it's like, I don't really know what I want to happen. So I think that was just a very cool kind of seat to put the audience in, to like help, like, what decision do I want here? Like, who do I want to succeed? Because you don't have Caesar anymore. He's such an iconic character, but he still kind of like lives throughout this movie of like whatever his ideals were and how they've skewed over time, over generations of these apes. So like, I don't know. I think that there were a lot of elements here that kind of had me, I don't know, just kind of invested in what's to come with this series, even without one of the most iconic characters of the last 20 years in film, of Caesar.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this one a lot. One of the things that I was kind of hoping to see more of that you don't really get a lot in this one, but you got a lot of it in War, was like when they're all being held by that Woody Harrelson character, right? He's the one that's kind of leading this whole thing.
Yeah.
And you get to see like their living conditions and how tortured they're being. In this, I wanted to see more of the kingdom and how they were living. A lot of the times you're just seeing that massive vault that's there, and then like their ships that are built around it to kind of keep the cove in. I wanted to see the outer part where you see the whole city of the apes and whatnot, and said, yeah, this is a kingdom I've started. You don't really see that. You just kind of, he tells you that's what's happening, but most of the time it's you're with Noah trying to kind of sneak around and be really clever about it. But I just had a lot of fun. I went into this not really caring. I was like, it's the only thing in right now. I'll go watch it. But as the movie went on, I got more and more invested. Like when it got to the point where the humans were being kind of hunted, that's the part that I started to get into, because you saw the connection between the Noah and the Maya character, the May character. And you just kind of, you see their relationship. It doesn't have to be verbal until they speak, but I liked how they did that. And I thought Proximus was creepy as a villain, because there's a scene in this where they're kind of sitting at a table and he's letting Noah and them know what his plan is. And he he's like standing by one of them, and she talks back. This May character talks back to him, and he like whips his head around, and his eyes almost look red. And I'm like, this guy's creepy. Like he kind of puts up this, I'm the leader, I'm the king front, but then you just see the evil intentions behind him when he's like, what's back there? Whatever's back there is mine.
But then you can see
the way he
how
relishes in it. He's like, oh, is there more of those in there?
Yeah.
And you see him piecing it all together, knowing, yeah, like John said, that hundreds of years of evolution is right at our fingertips.
Because look at how what he's trying to do to open that vault, and like it was never going to happen with what he was trying to do. It was never happening. So it's like it's crazy the leap that he would have had to make. Like they were never opening that. So also,
and they didn't have the previous knowledge on what a vault is.
They'd have no idea.
But
it's a door.
She does, so she knows that there's probably some way to get in that isn't just right here. And,
but why does she know?
And that's kind of where
it's a good question.
That was also kind of a flaw to me, because I'm thinking, if it's so many years since apes have taken over, how is she so familiar with this area? Yeah. But then again,
maybe we learn
with
more
the
about her in
whole
a
Fort
second
Myer thing that they talk about towards the end. Maybe there's just something we didn't see in this one that they'll shed on later. Like, where did she come from?
Probably her parents that are dead or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be some sort of flashback, and she has all this information at her disposal and goes from there.
And I'm not necessarily asking for that, but her character in this movie was kind of my biggest issue with it, because I just don't feel like I didn't know anything about her, but yet we're supposed to kind of follow her and like be on her side. And I just never really was, because I mean, she never even trusted the apes. Even that last scene with her, the hand behind her back, because it was just like, I don't know, I just heard there was no depth with her, and like there was just her character was just such a mystery that I was just kind of getting frustrated, because I'm just like, I just know they're just waiting until like the next couple of movies to finally explain this. And so like I was almost wishing that it was just Noah and even Raka. I loved Raka when he showed up in the movie. The orangutan, he was hilarious. I love the voice actor Peter Macon who played him. He was great, and like he was very so wise and knowledgeable. He was funny. So I really, that's kind of for me was when I was starting to get a little bit more invested into it. I thought the movie started extremely slow, and I was kind of like, oh, geez, I don't know what I got myself into here.
Is it the same orangutan from the first movie?
No,
that's
not. Maurice.
Because I just Googled it, and orangutans live 40 years. So I was like, for some reason, I thought that he was like one of the OG.
Who said Maurice?
I did. It's not Maurice.
That's from the Jungle Book.
No, but the name is very similar.
Maybe. I think Maurice is right from Jungle Book or something.
What's his name?
Or no, that's King Louis.
King Louis is.
I don't know.
No, his name's Maurice. Or no, Maurice is. Maurice might not be the orangutan. Is that the orangutan though? There's Cornelia and there's Maurice.
The orangutan's the orange one with the big flat cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah, it is Maurice. The orangutan in the original and the trilogy was Maurice.
Okay.
It was correct there. But this movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I didn't really love her character, and the fact that she just like kind of looked like she was plucked right out of like Instagram 2024, just throwing like a little bit of mud on her face and kind of wetted her hair, put on some pink lip gloss and denim jeans. I'm like, what the fuck? Who is she? Who is she? Did she crash back into Earth and think that this was like what's her character? Because it was not explained here whatsoever. And for 2.5 hours, I was just kind of like, what are we doing here? But regardless, that was kind of my biggest gripe. But Proxima Caesar had a ton of fun with. I thought he was very cool, very menacing. I wish we got more of him, but I loved how they were kind of twisting Caesar's teachings and intentions and kind of taking that and twisting it to being like, let's be evil, using and praise Caesar while we do it. So I kind of like the contrast between that. Yeah, it was cool. I like that, but yeah.
Grade.
So what do you give it?
I'm kind of in between like a 3 to a 3.5. Like I definitely liked it. I had a good time with it, but there are some pretty glaring flaws for me. Like I don't really ever want to watch this again. Like I unlike the other ones where I really enjoyed the rewatch that I just did with them. I think maybe if they have 3 or 4 more of these, then I'll be like, all right, rewatch the movies before the new one comes out. But so maybe I'd go 3. I go 3 out of 5. I get to fresh. Very well done. The effects were great. Performances were awesome. Like, even though I didn't love her character, I thought her performance was still very fine, very decent. But at this point, yeah, I'm a little checked out. I'm not fully there yet. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I just love this franchise, and I think that I can agree with Spencer where this wasn't the caliber of the other 3 movies. I think it's just because you don't have Caesar, and he's so iconic. And I think the idea of Caesar and the apes just kind of progressing and getting stronger and more self-aware of what they can accomplish is more enticing than when they're kind of already there and they're just starting to get over the hump of maybe taking over the humans. So I think that this side quest of a movie as its own was very good and like very enticing, and I really enjoyed the plot. I didn't mind the human element. I kind of like the conflict that she was going through. It was like, do I trust them? Do I not? Like, am I going to put the human race first, or am I going to trust this one ape who seems like he kind of has good intentions? I don't know. I actually did kind of like that conflict behind it. But I really enjoyed it. I would probably watch the other 3 first again before I throw this one on. But I gave this a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really good.
Solid.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
For me, it's a little bit like this movie is kind of like the Fantastic Mr. Beasts. Not fantastic. Yeah. The Fantastic Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
It's like, for me, it's like,
I was like, wait, that didn't sound right at all. Like, what
That's
the fuck?
2 movies.
The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This movie kind of felt like that of the Harry Potter franchise, where like you're back in the world. It kind of feels similar, but you're following these new characters, and you're not 100% sure if you're into it yet. So that's kind of similar to this.
For me, it's like the 3rd act of Place Beyond the Pines.
Okay. All right, Nate, what did you give this?
Well, so I'm gonna match John's 4 out of 5. I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit, especially going into it, not really being super excited about it.
I liked that choice.
And
Marcel liked this movie too. Even though I hadn't seen the movie yet, I figured I would go watch it too.
But yeah, it's just I like how you said it, John. It felt kind of like a side quest a little bit, where it's and Spencer said too with the Fantastic Mr. Beast. It was different, where you don't have any of the same characters at all, but it does feel like the world. I was just expecting, I guess, as far as the kingdom goes and what they had accomplished, to be a little bit more grand, as being centuries or generations of apes later. But there was just, to me, I guess, a grittiness to like the humans and them being considered the inferior species and them being hunted down. Oh, he looks like an ape.
Dude, I can
looks
totally
like his
see
character.
It. Oh my god,
is it insane? That's what I was telling
Wow.
John a couple hours ago. I'm like, he literally looks exactly like
his
the
face
actor that
is
plays
like
him.
very much,
And that's the thing,
very
though,
apish.
is that with all the apes, they have
Wow.
it's almost like they keep the eyes so that you know who these people are.
It's been in a lot of movies that are pretty decent.
The Empty Man. Oh wow.
But
ahead,
I like the Eagles aspect to it, how they were kind of the Eagle clan. Like they had their specific thing that helps them in their process and living on their own and whatnot. But I thought it was a good addition, but I'm kind of hoping that if they move this series more, this one will make more sense. Maybe it'll fit in later.
I think that's
once
the
they
plan.
start revealing some stuff and with the humans and what they're kind of planning on. But I'm kind of confused now, because if the third one was called War, this one leads into some ideas that could lead to a war. So I don't know what they're gonna name these. Like if there's gonna be an escape.
I think eventually they're trying to get to just
Planet of the
this.
Apes.
Planet of the Apes. I think eventually that's what they're trying to get to. That's the original movie. Maybe they'll cap it off there. Who knows?
God, I hope
That would
so.
be cool. I wouldn't mind that if it was just the Planet of the Apes.
What's the next one
And
called? We've
then-
all seen it. If you had to guess, what's the next movie called? Or Nate, what's your score? And then we'll give an answer to that question.
If it was 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And based on what the old ones were called, because they all had different names, I want to say Battle of the Planet of the Apes, where they're kind of leading into a human retaliation, maybe. If there's
Battle
enough.
would be good.
Or escape.
I don't know if they're. I think more like.
Do you guys know what the in the other trilogy that just happened with Andy Serkis and Caesar? Do you know what the third movie's called, John? Do you know what it's called? The full title.
War of the Planet of the Apes?
Nate,
What
do
do
you
you mean?
know?
It's War for the Planet of the Apes, right?
Nate got it.
War 4?
It's War for the Planet of the Apes. I've been going
Which is
around all
confusing.
these years
Oh, it is.
saying
Wow.
War of the Planet of the Apes, and I was wrong. I was stupid. I literally looked at the
Wow.
cover. I'm like, wait, it says 4? I was blown away. I was like, there's
War
no
for
way.
the planet.
Because
Oh,
everything else
wow.
is of the. So it's, yeah. I don't know.
And
yeah.
that's why it's a little confusing, because I would save War for like either the last movie or the second to last movie, kind of leading into it. But
Yeah, man.
who
I
knows
don't-
what the
I don't
next one's
know.
going to be? It could
Rise,
be
Dawn, War, Kingdom.
I've already told Spencer how I feel about this. It should have went Dawn, Rise, War.
Yeah, Dawn should be Rise for sure.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but they probably didn't know it was going to take off like this. But
And that was Kingdom, and then I think the next one, just call it Planet of the Apes.
no. It's going to be
Home of the Planet of the Apes. Home.
probably,
Home
probably
is-
something
Home
like
Planet of
lame
the
like
Apes.
that.
Home Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Or
well,
like
let's move
Battle or
Conquering of the
Escape.
Planet of the Apes. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just
Conqueror.
I just won my first Grammy!
Planet
yeah,
of the
fuck
Apes. Like, that's just.
that.
I won my first Grammy, Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the magic in me. I really
maybe
don't
we'll just
know.
call it Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
Monkey
in.
of the Planet of the Apes, of the Caesar, of the Roadhouse, of the Toast House. Of the
Planet of the Orangutans.
Oh, maybe, yeah,
Planet of
maybe
the
they start to
Gorillas.
fight over like should gorillas, orangutans, or regular primates be the alphas?
They
You
should
know?
just call it Who Fucking Cares with the Planet of the Apes. All right, so
Wow.
moving
That's-
on
That's the
Movie.
SNL version.
to our second movie of the
Marcel
week.
didn't like that.
I like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It wasn't as good as Rise, and I agree with Spencer. I think Dawn was a 5 out of 5. But I liked the snow and the special effects in the third one. It made me feel cold in the theater.
Oh, you're cold. Let me put you back in your box.
The Fall Guy. That's
Ooh,
only
yeah.
one
Oh,
I'll
guy,
watch.
not to be confused with Free Guy or any Ryan Reynolds movie.
True.
All good.
Or The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling. There's so many movies with the guys of some sort where it's either Ryan Gosling, and you spelled it wrong, Ryan Gosling, or Ryan Reynolds.
I'm gonna keep it though. I think it's
That's
better that
fine.
way.
Crazy, stupid Gosling. Oh.
Yeah,
A
the Fall
Testament
Guy.
and a love letter, self-proclaimed by the director and Ryan Gosling themselves to stuntmen. The Fall Guy.
What's the guy's name? Matt Leach or something?
David Leitch.
See
Yeah,
the-
the
Matt
director.
Leach.
Yeah. And he was a stuntman, right? So, like, this is.
Yes.
He
was,
directed the John
um,
Wick movies, I think, as well, right? He
He
directed
did the first one. Yes, he did
Oh.
Atomic Blonde. He did Deadpool 2. He did Bullet Train. He's
Wow.
established himself as a kind of a
action
big
guy.
budget action director at this point, that he can handle big stars, big action, big stunts, because yeah, he has a background in stunts. So he's kind of the perfect movie or perfect guy to make this movie.
He should have
And
directed Monkey Man.
I was looking forward to this ever since I heard of it. I thought the plot sounded really fun. It was a love letter to stunts and just the magic of making movies, all that kind of stuff. Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt. It just looked like a fun time. Like, just kind of turn your brain off, go have some fun, go eat some popcorn, and just enjoy it. Has some romance, has some comedy, has some action, has everything you need. And it just looked like it checked those boxes. So I was kind of looking forward to it as just kind of a guilty pleasure. But what about you guys?
I was also, to be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to it that much because, and this is the only reason, I'd seen the trailer 25 times, and I saw the trailer and it looked like fun, but I was like, I think I get it. I don't know. And I was hoping that it would go beyond what my expectations were for the trailer, and it did.
Oh,
it did.
Okay, well, a little
Okay.
tease.
Yeah,
Nate?
it did.
It was one where after seeing the trailer, I'm thinking probably what you guys were thinking. Oh God. Well, maybe not, but I looked at it as like, oh, it's just another action movie. Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, blah 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 blah. It's all gonna hit all the same beats. But I was pleasantly surprised because Ryan Gosling is just very funny. He's very charming. And Emily Blunt is just a fantastic actress. So anything with them in it, I will watch.
He's so fucking likable. Why is he so likable? Like, he's so handsome. His hair's always just like, it's a little bit messed up, but it's like, you know what? That's okay. He's just such a handsome fella. He's so charismatic, so funny. And I fell in love with him. You know what I mean? Like, every movie that he's in, I'm like, God damn it. Like, he is the pinnacle of what a man should be.
I just wanted to give you your own stage for this.
No, but really, like, why is he he's so fucking flawless? It's annoying. It's actually annoying. And this is no exception in this movie with Emily Blunt.
Okay, so ratings?
Yeah, right. There you go.
It's 5 out of 5. I mean,
all you need.
No.
I had a great time with this movie.
Okay.
It's a cheese fest. It is so silly. It's so dumb, but it's so self-aware. It's meta. It's not taking itself seriously whatsoever. It's just having fun, and in that process, I also was having fun. I didn't love everything about this movie. It's way too long. Anytime they do like some real crime stuff and like they're trying to throw in like a little subplot where like there's like real criminals like after you, I thought it was so stupid, and just I kind of wish they went back to just the movie set with the dynamic between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. I thought that was just genius. They have incredible chemistry. And anytime they're on screen together, I was having a ton of fun. So it's dumb, it's fun, and it's full of heart. So I had a great time with it. What about you guys?
I will say I'm a fan of when things are on the nose sometimes, but when they do it for an entire sequence, like there's a split screen one that I thought was clever.
Yeah. Went on for too long though.
Yes, and then there was even
they
a
were
line
so in sync with their movements.
Yeah, and there was one where they're on the beach and she's getting ready to direct a scene, and the woman runs up and goes, okay, so we don't have anything for the third act. So what if for the third act, we talk about not having anything for the third act? And it just almost too on the nose. Like, I get it. They're going to get to the third act and they're not going to be quite sure. But I think this is the worst Emily Blunt accent ever.
Isn't this
she
her
tried to sound
accent?
It's her natural voice.
Yeah, that's her voice.
It's her natural voice.
She's English.
100%.
Like, that's what she sounds like.
It's literally what she sounds
Really?
like. 100%. Yeah. She didn't put on any
because
accent
I'm
for the
sitting
movie.
there listening to it and I'm like, is
That's
she
really
supposed
funny.
to
Let's have
be?
some spicy margaritas on
Her
a
real
beach
voice is
somewhere.
just
Yes,
fucking horrible.
please. Like,
Well, because I was expecting it to be something else, and then I'm like,
That's
is
not
she?
a bad
I thought she was
decision.
trying to be English, so I was like,
She is English.
No,
Yeah.
she's just English and sounds like that.
American.
naturally.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was trying to do an American accent, and it just wasn't coming through. But
that's
then
funny.
now it makes sense. But I still reserve the right to feel that it was weird. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and I think Winston Duke was just kind of a funny side character. Like when they both break into the apartment.
Yeah. Last Mohicans. Damn it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
he just says the lines.
I love Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Like if you could have fooled me and said, "Hey, they're married in real life and they have been for a while." I think that they have just so much chemistry between them. Like they are just, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that Ryan Gosling like just kind of like, hey, like he kind of looks at you and you can't really like you don't know what to do with yourself, and that's kind of like seemed like what Emily Blunt felt throughout the movie, regardless of what he may or may not have done to her in the past. But
Okay,
my
so second paragraph off
did
of your initial
nothing.
thoughts on Ryan
hey, stop it!
All right.
I just love their chemistry between each other. The action, I don't care. I mean, I was more invested in the action taking place on set, like the cool scenes that they were trying to create, like the action scenes, like those were shot really well. The car chases, the flipping of the cars. I cared way more about that than Ryan Gosling trying to like infiltrate this fucking conspiracy going on.
Yeah,
Like I
like the
cared a lot.
apartment and dock stuff. Yeah,
I don't
I
give a
couldn't
shit.
care
It was
less. Yeah.
stupid. It was pretty much explained in
But
the trailer. I'm like, I don't know.
on the counter, give me more sequences of him and Jean Paul, the dog.
Oh my
I was
god.
losing my
That was cool.
mind
That was cool.
during those scenes. Like it was so stupid.
Jean Paul,
but it was so funny.
Yeah.
Like I loved his commands are in French, and he like of course because he worked on him in another movie. He knows how to command, and the second that assistant gets kidnapped, and like he just hops the fence like Jean Paul, and they both like in sync just like start sprinting towards the garbage truck, and like they have
Pretty awesome.
that like the final countdown start to play in like slow motion. Like this movie is just so ridiculous and so
Is
stupid.
it John
but
Paul or John Claude?
Jean
Maybe it's
Claude.
Jean
It was Jean
Claude.
Claude.
I think
It
it's
was
Jean
Jean
Claude.
Claude.
Yeah.
After Jean Claude
Okay.
Van Damme. Yeah.
Yeah, because once he's it's gonna be funny because he just immediately says it. Just John Claude, go get that. He's like, okay, like I'm gonna go get this cell phone.
And then towards the end of the scene, he's like, Jean Claude, what the fuck are you doing? You're just sitting there. Get the bottle, like from underneath the brake pedal.
Yeah.
He's like trying to
dumb.
grab it.
But
The movie was like so self-aware though. Like it knows that it's almost making fun of action movies at the same time because they're actively
Of course.
making an action movie that's making fun or being very self-aware about the fact that they are completely ripping off Dune and Mad Max. 100%.
What was it called?
Like
Metal Storm.
Metal Storm. I'm like,
Storm.
I know what you're doing.
And they
here.
even
That's
have
fine, and so
like
do you.
that sound, that theme from Dune, of like that lady like screaming like on the track.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah,
Wow.
100%. Like it was a full rip off of those films, and I was there for it. I'm like, you know what? It's a little bit distracting that it's actively those movies, but I was there for the funny, for the comedy between it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it was. That's all it was trying to be. Trying to be a little love letter to
She's singing up
stuntmen
on stage, just singing, and you think he's gonna make it in time, and then he just runs in the door, and Winston Duke's sitting there, and just, hey, oh yeah, no, she left.
You missed it. You missed it. Yeah. I was really hoping he'd make
Parallel
it to
action.
karaoke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fake out.
Thank you, Frank or Chris.
I love the soundtrack. Every song that played, I was just like, all right. And the whole scene with the garbage truck was genius. Like with it tipping over sideways, but still getting dragged, and they're kicking each other while they're sitting on this hot sheet of metal, just sliding through the city. I was like, this is stupid, but I'm having fun.
Yeah.
This movie plays a Taylor Swift song. Like the scene when he's
yeah.
sitting in the car
All
listening
Too
to
Well.
All Too Well. Bro, been there, done that. Like, goddamn. And then she knocks on
You
the
listening
window.
to
And she's
Taylor
like,
Swift?
were you listening to Taylor
No.
Swift? Are you crying?
Can you drive into my car?
Yes, actually I am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's yeah.
It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the movie's making no money in the box office, but I mean,
What?
do you expect? It's an adaptation of a TV show that nobody even knew existed that was in the 80s. So
Wow, that's actually
Yeah.
surprising. I thought it was
it's
doing
only
well.
made like
Dang.
40 something million dollars, and the budget's way more than that. So I don't think this will
things-
be a profit for Universal. I think it might be a loss, but the movie's so much fun. It's gonna have legs whenever it reaches like Netflix or something. But yeah, like no one's going to see it in theaters, but it's worth it. It's a fun movie to go see in theaters. It's a fun movie to bring a date to, go see it with your parents. I mean, go see it with friends. I mean, it's a great time, and it's a love letter to making movies. And if you've ever worked on a set or done like student films or high budget productions, I mean, you can catch up on all the lingo that's going on, like with the dialogue and some of like the routine stuff and the personalities and everything. So there's a lot to kind of chew on if you have a little bit of experience on film sets. So it was just a fun time. Dumb time too. The third act it went on for way too long. I was like, what the fuck
It's a
are we
long
doing
movie.
here?
It doesn't.
It just
need to
kept
be that
going
long.
and going
Yeah.
and going, and I'm like, we didn't need this, but fuck it, it's entertaining regardless. So I went 3.5. No, I went 4 out of 5 with this because to me, like it really is. It's closer to a 3.5 than a 4.5. But because of how much fun I had sitting in the theater watching the movie, I could easily rewatch this in a couple of months and have a fun time. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a good time in the theaters. Nate.
I am matching that 4 out of 5.
Oh.
I mainly because I went into it just kind of expecting your everyday action movie, and I was surprised because these two just have perfect chemistry. Sure, this movie might not make the money that it put into it, but these two will be in another movie together, I'm sure, and that one will probably be fantastic as well. And he's just too much of a lovable guy, and she's gorgeous and kind and beautiful, and I'm jealous that Spencer hugged her. But
that did happen.
Yeah.
Spencer did hug her.
I'm on board with this.
You get back here right now, you son of a bitch.
you accept the praise that we're giving you.
You get the hell back here.
Comment.
But yeah, no, it was just a lot of fun. Some stereotypical action stuff, but then with these guys, it made it really fresh. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
Could you explain the hug?
What did you give
to
this
it?
movie?
Okay. Spencer did hug her, by the way. Anyways, yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the charismatic nature of both characters, to be honest. I did notice one kind of continuity error that did bug me a little bit, and it was the fact that Emily Blunt wore the same pantsuit in the evening, and then the next day on set she was wearing the same pantsuit there. So like she was wearing it on a night out, and then the next day she wore it again. It bothered me a little bit.
Too?
No, she had like 5 different pantsuits. This was the one with like it was black with flowers on it, and that bothered me a little bit that she didn't choose to like change the next day. As good as she looked in it, I'm not gonna lie, she looked fantastic, and that's okay. Not a big complaint, but at the end of the day, that was my biggest complaint in the movie. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. The action scenes looked awesome. It was really funny. I laughed throughout the movie and had a great time. So, yes, I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. Let's do some push-ups.
Oh my god, this has been
a long time.
Happened in a long time.
How many?
Yeah. How many push-ups are we doing here?
12.
Let's do 20.
12.
I don't know if we can do 20.
I can do 20.
What's 4? 4, 4, 4. Yeah, 12. Yeah, let's do 12. That makes sense.
Why 12?
Because
it
we
makes
all
sense.
gave it a 4.
20 doesn't make sense. 4 plus 4 plus 4 does not.
And then I'm just gonna edit it down. All right, here we go.
Okay,
feeding the ducks.
Toast house.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jean-Claude, les push up. 1, 2, 3.
Roadhouse.
Okay. Right. Good job. 12. That was my work of the day.
Your push-ups?
No, I'm sorry. I was getting some water and I had to pull some beets out of the ground and I had to get ready for my interview with 60 Minutes.
Marcel, get the fuck out of here. Okay, here we go.
Hey, don't talk about him like that.
What the fuck? Who is that?
Hey,
Is that his assistant? Jesus Christ.
yeah. No, I get paid like $10,000 a month to defend Marcel in any capacity.
All right. Well, those were the new releases: Fall Guy and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think the next episode, will just be Furiosa and Garfield. So go and watch those movies over the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Okay. Trivia? Is that what's happening?
It's the new mainstream.
It's time for the answers to know this fact. for the questions I'm about to ask. Like,
What is the capital of Bolivia? It's mainstream.
Bully Trivia! Except not today because I'm not hosting. Instead, Nate will be the host as Spencer and Mainstream Boy himself will go at it together 1v1 to decide who faces Nate for the belt in trivia 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
You mean Battle of the Dudes? Or
Battle
the Dude
of
Feud?
the Dudes. That was off the cuff, and I'm proud of myself.
Okay, so Nate didn't want to be here for this anymore, so Marcel's going to ask the questions.
Please, please,
Okay.
if you want to do that, I'm all for it.
So yeah,
Shit, Marcel,
plain
you
and
good?
simple. I've got 7 questions right here. I almost just showed you the screen, but then you might not have seen it anyway.
No, I'm oblivious.
Combo of a bunch of different questions. There's no theme. All you have to do is once I'm done asking the question, you type in whatever it is you guys want to type in the chat, and that will be your response. If you want to tell me ahead of time what you're going to write, is it going to be Ducky and
Yeah.
National Treasure?
No, mine's gonna be Marcel.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So I will say these questions are tad on the easy side, but there's no multiple choice. So if you
Okay.
don't know it, you're kind of screwed. So
Okay.
know it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the first one, we're going all the way into Korean films.
Oh shit.
Oh, don't worry. It's a very mainstream one.
Okay.
Parasite.
What food does the family use to help get rid of the caretaker in Parasite?
Hmm.
Ooh, Marcel.
Um.
You have 5 seconds to answer. 5.
What? Fucking since when?
If you because you can't enter it in and just lock it. So
Okay,
you
sorry.
just think about it.
I will do that now.
You got to hit it when you know the
starting now.
answer.
Okay. I will give 5 seconds starting now. 5, 4, 3, 2,
A Caesar salad.
1.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no.
Because you were
Ducky.
trying to lock in your name so you could just sit there and think about it for
Yeah, of
for like
course
2
I
minutes.
was.
Yeah, like you got to know the answer. It was an apple.
Look who I'm going against. I have to do that.
Oh.
Um.
Oh, he doesn't have the. There you go.
Can I have a hint? Is there any hint? What food group is it in?
Spencer was kind of close,
I knew it was like a
Um,
fruit. Yeah.
but there is something that has to do with this fruit that they specifically do to it, and they use it on the maid to get her to have this reaction. Okay, here's a hint.
I don't remember.
Georgia.
Is it a peach?
That is correct. It was a peach, where they scrape the fuzz off the peach and then they blow it in her face, and she has that
I knew
allergic
it. I knew it
reaction.
the whole
My
time.
cursor was on the ROM beep sound effect and not the chat. So that's why the sound
Oh.
effect happened and not my name.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I probably needed an advantage to be honest, so I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, whatever.
all right, cool. So goes 1 to Marcel. It is 1-0. On to question number 2. This is a guess the tagline or guess the movie from the
Ooh.
tagline.
Okay, here we go.
Short and sweet. That's not part of it.
Oh, okay.
The true story of a real fake. Marcel.
Catch Me If You Can.
That's correct.
Oh, let's fucking
Wow.
go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
Wow. That was
Okay.
good.
That was very good. I was
Damn.
very surprised.
Wow.
I thought that was gonna.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
okay,
That's crazy. Okay, let's
Catch
go.
me if you can.
cool. A little. What was the character's name in that? Do you guys remember?
Is it
was something
Frank
weird.
something? Frank.
Oh yeah, Frank.
Frank.
Abigail or something.
Yes,
or-
Frank
Abagnale.
Abagnale.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Tom
Cool.
Hanks is in the movie too.
Great movie.
All right. Marcel's up 2-0, but Ducky is still in this.
I'm fighting for Marcel.
Question number
He's
3.
Wait, is it how first to what? How many?
first to 4.
It's first to 4. It's best
Okay.
out of 7. So
Okay,
first
okay,
one to
okay,
4.
Okay.
So number 3. Which member of the Von Erich family from the Iron Claw went on to wrestle in the WWF? Marcel. 5,
It was
4. 3, 2, 1.
Steven.
Was it
not
Terry?
Steven. It was not Terry.
Oh, what was his name, dude?
I will say
Oh, wait,
Zac
no.
Efron's character.
No,
Huh?
forget it. I didn't mean to type. I
Okay.
didn't mean to submit mine.
I can't
The
remember
character
his name,
who
dude.
Zac Efron plays, his name starts with the same first letter as this brother. Played by Jeremy Allen White.
Oh, Terry seems like a good guess. I feel like that's right. Oh, Carrie.
So-
Harry.
It is Carrie Von Erich.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
I was like, that sounds
Von
so correct.
Yeah. Not bad. So I'm like, I know that was the character, but I'm like, is his name not Terry? Like, what the fuck?
Nah, that I was almost like,
definitely
Spencer,
right.
you are 4 out of 5, very close. Like-
Yeah.
Okay. John, you pulled away a little bit, but there's still
Doesn't
4
matter.
questions here. So, Ducky, you still have a chance.
Unless
This
he gets
one
this
is
one.
a little.
Unless
unless
he
he
gets,
gets
this
this
one.
one.
Yeah, then he wins.
This one's a personal favorite movie of mine, so I hope you get it.
Okay.
Guess the film based on the cast. I will give you 3 names. If you don't know them, I'll give you a 4th name and then a 5th name. So, first name, Logan Lerman. Second name, Alexandra Daddario.
Wait,
Did
can
you
he
just
buzz in
Put
already?
a thing in.
Yeah.
Is that
Go
fair?
for it.
Well, I get less,
Okay.
less actors. I mean, I feel like it's less of an
5,
advantage. Percy
4.
Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
That's correct.
Damn. Yeah. No,
Was that too easy?
no.
Once you said Alexander Daddario, I knew it. But then when you said Logan Lerman, my instant thought was Perks of Being a Wallflower. But I'm like, wait a minute, it's
Same.
not John making the mainstream trivia.
Well, Nate also likes that
This is
movie. I
Nate.
think
Nate did like the movie, but I didn't think it was
Mhm.
a personal favorite. So then I was
Lightning-
thinking
No.
like
Percy
like
Jackson
some
is
other
not
stuff
what I was
that
thinking at
Logan
all.
was in. But no, he
The
likes
other
Percy Jackson.
names I would have given is Sean Bean, Pierce Brosnan, and Rosario Dawson.
Not
Those
Brandon
wouldn't
T.
have helped me at
Jackson.
all.
No, I didn't know if you would know him other than
Yeah.
those 3. Okay. Ducky came back with a little bit of a quickie too. So
Yeah, that was impressive. That was
That's all I
impressive.
needed. Give
Didn't
me
even need
actors
to
or
pull through.
directors. That's all I need.
he's fighting back.
Mm.
Number 5. Who voices Ken in Toy Story 3?
Who? Ken?
Ken.
Oh,
Or-
fuck.
Oh, okay.
5, 4, 3.
Keanu Reeves.
Dude.
It's not Keanu Reeves. He does the
Fuck
other
you.
guy.
No. Okay. Ducky.
Ducky.
Michael Keaton.
Ding, 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 ding.
Fuck.
It was Michael Keaton, who I didn't expect. And then I saw it and I had to listen a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that is Michael Keaton. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
God damn it. Keanu Reeves is Evil Knievel or
Like
whatever
your
the fuck
ass,
that
God.
guy is.
He is Stunt Bike Mike or whatever his
something,
name
yeah,
is.
Duke
Boom. Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom. That's what it
Fuck.
was. Okay.
Damn.
So Ducky comes back. It is now 3-2 to Marcel
I'm
on to
nervous.
question number 6. This is another tagline.
Okay.
His story will touch you, even though he can't. Ducky.
Casper.
Incorrect.
His story will touch you. He can't.
His story will touch you, even though I can't because
He
I already guessed.
can't. No, I
All
get.
right, John, I'm going to give you a 10 seconds, but I'm going to do it with my hands. So just
Fuck. His story will touch you, even though he can't.
yep.
Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
Oh, it was not Marcel the Shell.
Okay, so we both got it wrong. Is there
He has to give another clue. I think.
another clue?
This movie came out in the 90s.
What's the tagline again?
His story will touch you, even though he can't. Why can't he?
John, did you submit?
No.
Nope, that was from his before.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Story will touch you, even though he can't. My mind is only on ghosts right now, but maybe it's not a ghost.
I'm
Marcel?
buzzing in. The Iron Giant.
Maybe. Oh wait,
Incorrect. Ducky.
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
It is tied
Oh!
3-3.
damn it, bro. Fuck.
Let's go. Okay.
It is 3-3.
I was just like trying to think like what characters has like crazy hands or something. I'm like, oh
Yeah, I figured the Iron Giant because he's a fucking
like,
giant
yeah.
Iron Giant.
because I thought it was Casper initially, 100%.
That makes sense. I honestly thought you had it there. And it's also
I've never
Casper the
seen
Friendly
Casper.
Ghost. That's not even the full title, so that would have been
No, the original movie is just Casper.
wrong.
Yeah.
That's
Nope.
true. You're right.
It's Casper.
Okay. shut up.
Because then there's Casper and Wendy.
Camden, Maine.
And then,
Camden, Maine.
yeah. Okay. We're down to number 7. It's 3-3.
Oh boy.
And we are ending it with a guess the film based on the cast.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, and it seems like a Spencer advantage, but okay.
Where have you been?
Hey, I'm going to be looking at the thing. So
all
if you know it from the first name, go for it.
right.
Okay.
Well, that's impossible.
Juliette Lewis.
Who?
Okay.
Harvey Keitel.
Okay.
Ducky.
I just got this wrong. God damn it.
5,
Fuck.
4.
Natural Born Killers. It's wrong. It's wrong.
It's incorrect.
I know
Is
she's
it-
Marcel.
Is it the piano?
That's
That is
Helen.
incorrect.
Oh,
Do you want the
fuck
third
me.
name?
Wait. I gotta talk about my name again. You have Juliette Lewis and Harvey Keitel.
I don't know who
Yep.
fucking Juliette Lewis is. I thought it was the piano bitch. Well, anybody can buzz in now, so you can say the other words.
Yeah. What's the other one?
And the other names.
Michael Parks.
Juliette Lewis, Harvey
I don't know who that is. I don't know who Juliette Lewis or Michael Parks are.
Keitel.
Juliette Lewis was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I haven't seen that.
And she was in Cape Fear.
I haven't seen that.
Juliette
This is my own fault.
There's 2 big names in this. Well, like 4. But if I were to give them to you, it would give them away.
National Treasure.
Nope.
Okay. Well, he said big names. Now Spencer can
I
guess.
mean, like
All
big
collaborators
names.
Spencer has
of
10
Quentin
seconds. Spencer has 10
Tarantino.
seconds. Buzzing again.
It's Jackie Brown.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Okay, we need another clue.
Um,
God, what are the chances I've even heard of this movie?
I'm trying to think of something that won't give it away, obviously.
Release date.
Late 90s, I believe. It's either late 90s or early 2000s.
I know 2 Harvey Keitel movies, and that's National Treasure and The Piano.
I'm just staring
The
at Dwayne Johnson right now.
The main part, like the main climax of this movie takes place in a bar.
Oh fuck. Roadhouse.
Nope, you got to type it in now.
Oh god damn it.
Just because I've given you all the
This
Ducky.
is wrong because I'm not sure if one of these people are in it or 2 of them. From Dusk Till Dawn.
No, that's not the
Bingo! That is number 4. When you
Fucking
said
bro.
these guys all work with Tarantino, my eyes got really big.
I saw that. That's why my mind was set on like Jackie Brown or something. But okay, nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you have George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino. Play the celebration music.
Is it this one? Nope.
No,
nope.
Nope.
Fuck.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh, fuck
From quack till quack.
yeah. I haven't won a single. Oh,
John, what's your fucking problem? Why didn't you win the contest? John, why?
Dude, those last 4 were really hard. Damn it. Good job, Spencer. I'm really proud of you.
so I now fight Nate on the next episode. John's the moderator. He's back to it.
Yeah, it's where I belong, sadly.
Okay.
I almost
dueling
4-0'd you.
dudes.
God damn, I can't
Almost.
believe you came back and got all 4 of those. Damn, bro.
That's like the
Nate
theme.
did it to me. Remember? Nate did it to me. He came back and just
he absolutely
crushed
has.
me at the end of one of the trivia battles. But
You know,
That was a
Dude,
fun
the
one. I like being the
game.
questions guy.
We are at 136 right now, so you know what?
Yeah.
It's poetic at this point to end the show in the next 30 seconds. But I'm proud of you,
We talk-
Spencer.
I will say, I'm very proud. That was a very great back and forth. We talked way more about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes than I thought we were going to.
Right.
I
Same.
thought it was
yeah,
going to be more about
that
Fall
went on for a
Guy.
while. I'm happy with it.
I was like, oh crap, we're at the hour mark and we're still talking about Planet of the Apes. All right.
I was pretty sure we are gonna go over 137, but here we are. I'm so glad we got to this point. I can't wait for the next episode where we can talk about Garfield and I guess Furiosa. But if you guys haven't already done this, go ahead onto Instagram at ThoseMovieDudes, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're not on YouTube, if you're listening on an audio platform, go to YouTube, type in Those Movie Dudes podcast, all one word, and you can see our beautiful faces. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
And subscribe to the audio only podcast. First time watching, we have an episode of In the Mood for Love. This week we have Into the Wild, and stay tuned to hear about our third one coming out next week. All right, toodaloo.
And if you have a slipcover for the Kino Classics version of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, send it my way. I will pay premium prices. I will send pictures of my feet.
Amen.